Welcome to another edition of our Facebook and YouTube Live. Correct, Levi?
Correct.
Facebook and YouTube Live. It's our 51st episode. And I barely made it here. And we're waiting for Chris to come through the door. So he's running a little late. So it shows how busy we are when we try to make these. But he'll be joining us in just a second. We're going to surprise him. He won't know that we're live when he walks in the door, which will be fun. So we're now dual streaming, like we just said, going live on YouTube and Facebook. So always be sure to like and share the video. Post your questions. Today our topic of du jour is going to talk a little bit about FR3. So FR3 specific questions we will take, but as always we'll take any type of questions you have. And what are we doing on today's video? We will be recapping what's going on here at Hot Shot Secret as normal, and we do have a special unveiling too, so definitely have to wait for Chris on that one, but I hear him coming, so he'll be here in a second. And like I said, we're going to talk a little bit about FR3. We're going to be giving a free product giveaway, which is FR3. We're going to switch that up a little bit. We had a little feedback. I think Carmen talked to some of our customers, and we realized, as you can tell, it's a tough time of day for us. It's also a tough time of day for a lot of you out there. So we found out a lot of you are watching this video maybe later in the evening or something, or after work or on your lunch break if you're on the West Coast, that type of thing. So we are going to announce a couple live winners on the show today like we normally do. But if you don't watch live, be sure to still comment and ask questions, as we'll pick 2 additional winners later. I think, I don't have all the notes on that, but I think we're going to announce it on our next live show. Is that right, Levi? Maybe, possibly. So the point is, if you're not watching this live, then you still have a chance for some free product. And I think we have a guest coming in. So if this is a re-airing, go ahead and comment just like you're watching it live, and we'll give you a chance to get your free product. Who's this joining us?
Who do you want?
Sorry, man. I'm doing my best.
We all are.
I'm sorry. I got caught up in a conversation with another large company, and I was talking to their CEO, and I couldn't get off the phone.
Well, that's a good thing.
It was a good thing. Very good thing.
But we
Big things happen.
still make time for this. So I was telling them that topic du jour is FR3 today.
Oh, sweet.
We did have a special guest that had to reschedule, so we'll be bringing them back another time. And I was just talking about a new thing that we're doing. Carmen had talked to a lot of our customers that watch live where we get some free product away. Well, a lot of them watch later. So we encourage people on the re-airing of this, or if they're watching the episode later, go ahead and comment. We're going to give away some free product to those that watch the re-airing. We'll announce them next week coming into it.
I'm glad I got the memo about the blue shirt.
Yeah, I'm missing the logo though. Yeah.
Okay, very good.
So we are at our web announcements, which this has kind of been a hit here, the big Yeti cooler giveaway. There's only 1 week left, and it's a $600 value. I believe you enter and share on Facebook or Instagram. Now remember, here's the rules. You want to post a picture of your diesel, tag Hot Shot Secret, and it can be a truck, car, tractor, you name it, as long as it's a diesel. And tell us why you love that diesel, and it must include the hashtag WinHSS.
Okay.
So anything you got, whatever your diesel is out there, all you have to do is post a picture of Facebook or Instagram, tag Hot Shot Secret.
How's it going so far?
Eric?
Eric, how's it going so far?
Going good. Going good. We could use more.
All right.
All right. Tell your friends about it. Tell everybody you know to jump in here.
And remember,
show them what they get.
This thing is loaded. So we've got a $200 Yeti to start with, which is awesome. Stiction Eliminator, FR3, TSE, Diesel Extreme, EDT, a bunch of Hot Shot Secret koozies. Oh, there it is. Cash, $250 cash, which everybody loves. We got decals, magazines, a whole bunch of fun stuff. So this is quite a cooler that's going to come packed full of a whole bunch of good stuff. And all you have to do, post a picture of your diesel, tell us why you love it, tag Hot Shot Secret, and use, what's the code? WinHSS?
Hashtag WinHSS. We have till the 15th. So that's right around the corner. So hurry up and
Yep, one more
post
week.
it. One more week. Share it with your friends and family, and we want to blow this thing up. So tell everybody about it. It's a really good deal.
So next
Great
Thursday
tool.
will be your last chance. So we'll give you one last warning on our live next week. And I believe the following Thursday is when we're going to announce the winner. So everything will happen here on live, I believe. So that should be fun. So quite a big thing.
New infographics are coming soon, detailing our testing with the FR3 with Firepunk Diesel.
Yeah, I think Levi's going to pull that up. Is it already out, Levi?
Yep.
Cool.
So this, I'm sorry, Levi.
Oh, breaking news, it's on now.
Breaking
It's
news.
on now. Okay,
It's
on
not
right
coming
now.
soon. It's available.
So this is what happened. We're all powered by science, and we're all about science. So we do lots of testing. You probably see 1/100th of what we're actually doing here. A couple years ago, we thought,
Well, you know what? We're going to dive deep into that.
okay.
FR3 is the topic today.
Well, I was just going to talk about the infographic.
Okay, cool, yeah.
So, we decided a couple of years ago that, hey, we need to release this information. People really care about it. So we went to the trouble of putting together these white papers, which is really just an explanation of what our testing did and how we accomplished what we did. And it was good. It was very detailed. There was a lot of information there. Unfortunately, it was also very boring. And when some other people came in a couple of years later, they said, well, nobody's going to read this because it's boring. So can we take all this science information, what you've done, and make it a little bit more visually appealing so that people will actually enjoy looking at it? And that's what these infographics are for. So there's more information behind the scenes if you need it or want it, but we try to put it into a format that would be easy to digest. So Levi's scrolling through the white paper now, so you kind of see,
It's pretty technical.
yeah, you know who would like this is Trey Sykes. Trey would like something like this. Now the rest of you
Trey's
folks,
watching right now.
now the rest of you guys are like, after the first paragraph, you're like, what else you got?
Yeah.
So, it was a good idea, and we still use it. Some of our, really technical people, fleets and things, want to know all those details, but putting the case studies together and the technical information, infographics, is what we're trying to do with everything now.
And shout out to our graphic designers, Jen and Karen. They do a great job. It's not that easy to get all that information from a whole white paper into a one-page, nice, pretty sheet like that still gets all the information out. So
We are really, really blessed to have a phenomenal staff across the board from door to door. But when it comes to graphics and the way our company looks, our graphic artists have always done a really good job.
Absolutely.
Jennifer and Karen deserve big kudos for this
absolutely,
and for everything they do.
absolutely. Okay, so retail looks like we've got $5 off a 32-ounce FR3 at Tractor Supply. So go grab a bottle while it's on sale. That's
That's a good
nationwide.
deal. Yeah, these $5 off coupons are really good. So go to Tractor Supply. It's $5.
It's marked down on the shelf, so you don't even need a coupon.
Yep, it's marked down on the shelf. Just go get it. It's not, I don't know if it's in a circular, but you'll see it in the store. It's
Yep.
very obvious. So take advantage of that. Let's clean the shelves at Tractor Supply. Run them out of product. Tell everybody
That's a
about
good
it.
thing. Yep.
That's what we want to see.
And maybe after today's episode, when they learn a little more about FR3, they'll go clean them out.
When you find out about FR3, you're going to go and buy the whole shelf lot.
Yep.
So if you have any questions, post them now. We're going to get into a question and answer. We'll go to dealer shout outs like we do every week. We'll hit a little bit of R&D. We'll stop for questions and answer all the ones that are posted by that point, and then we'll move to the next section. So jump on there, start putting your questions. Anything about oil. Now let me say, oil, filtering, diesel fuel, you name it. It doesn't have to be just about FR3. We're here. The whole point of this podcast, or this Facebook Live thing,
Facebook, YouTube, dual streaming now.
dual streaming, the whole reason to do this is to share our information with you, answer your questions. It kind of came from the radio program when we would do WLW overnight. All 8 lines would light up because people would ask us questions, and then I realized that you really don't get a chance to talk to an oil expert face to face often. So, let's just do it every week. So this is really your chance to ask as many questions as you want. Base oils, additives, fuel.
And especially FR3, because FR3 is a little complicated to the average guy, but once you understand it, it is an amazing product. So how about some dealer shout-outs? Jay's Repair and Performance out there in Plainfield, Illinois. And we got Mers Tire and Auto LLC in Eudora, Kansas. And Far West Services in El Paso, Texas. So shout out to all our dealers out there. We're always running good dealer specials, looking for more dealers to come on board. I've been in meetings all day, but I just stopped by the sales room before I came out and just brought on, I think, 3 new dealers already before lunch today. So
That's pretty cool.
we're excited to have new people on board. And
If there's somebody that you know in your town that you would like to carry Hot Shot Secret, have them call us, because we're looking for dealers across the country.
And one important thing about that is a lot of times you might live in an area that you do have reach to, one of our retail shops or something. Our dealers are the ones that can really get our specialized products that aren't really designed for a retail space and never going to really make it there.
Well, there's probably 25 to 30 products that are only dealer only.
Right.
So retail shelf, you've got to have a lot of shelf pull. Retailers are there just to be a warehouse for you to pick up your product.
Right.
So you won't see the majority of our lineup there. We have a lot of really great products. They're just not retail appropriate.
Sure.
So
And-
dealers are where we sell those through, or through our website.
And if you have a dealer that you do go from that isn't carrying one of our specialized products, they can get it, unlike the retailers. So,
Well, not only can they get it, but they can tell you about it. That's the other advantage you have with dealers, is they have experience with this. Now, you go to the shelf of Tractor Supply, we love Tractor Supply, but are they going to be able to say, I put this in 5 trucks last week and this is what I was able to determine. So they really do have firsthand knowledge. That's why we continue to service our dealer base and grow it, because that really is our front line. Those are the guys that can tell you the inside skinny about our product.
now we got something cool we're about to announce.
We do. So it's something we've been working on for a long time.
Long time.
As you know, we are a top-rate science company. We are top-rate at testing, coming up with tests, developing new chemistries, new formulas across the board. I mean, we are the best in the world at that. Packaging, not so much. So one of the things that's always bugged us about these bottles is, if you notice, there's not a long neck on it. So when you go to put it in, it dribbles down inside the truck, and we know that. We've been working on it for years. The problem is that our chemistries are so strong. They're just so potent that most of the plastics out there, it eats right through them. The bottles not only panel, but they get real soft and gooey. So we were stuck with an HDPE plastic with fluorination, and it was really thick, which that's
Which
just
we've
the
even
detail.
had promotions for trying to crush our bottles.
Correct. You can tell this is a pretty strong bottle. So we've been working on designs and new plastics and new ways to present our product, and we finally got it done. We had new molds made,
New unveiling.
new unveiling.
These beautiful new bottles. So here's a 16-ounce version of our Stiction Eliminator, and here is the new quart bottles. As you can see, they're PET plastic now, so they're completely transparent, see-through. They're embossed with. I don't know if you have any close-up shots of them, Levi, but
It says powered by science.
yeah. So these are actually one-off bottles made for us, by us. They're directly, you're not gonna find them anywhere else.
Well, these ones are made one-off. These are made for us too. We own the molds on those.
But they're just not as sexy.
No, they're not as sexy, and they don't function as well, which is more important. So this is the old version. This is the new version. We've tested them. They do pour much better. They don't dribble. They fit in your hand
more.
better.
Yeah, look how long the neck is. Actually, Levi, I'm going to screw your plane up here. We're going side by side on all of them. Oh, okay. So here's FR3, and you know what I love about these two, Chris, is our formulas are very
We gotta
pretty.
switch those around. You got it.
Oh, you're right. My ADD would have gone, or OCD would have gone crazy on that.
Yeah.
TBN. Now you can see how thick our TBN is too, which is just
See the product. My favorite product.
yes, Chris's favorite. So there's your TBN.
Diesel Extreme.
Diesel Extreme. ADT. And look at the 16-ounce.
See, this is so much better. I know you can't see it real close up there, but this is as clear as glass, and it's it is thick. We still have the ribs in there to keep it good and sturdy, but I think you'll be very, very happy as you start to get the new product and the new bottles. It should be a good thing.
The one we don't have out here because we couldn't find it was our TSE, and to see how bright and pink it is, it really kind of. I don't know. I love the look of these clear bottles.
Now, coming up, we're still working on a 64-ounce bottle, and that's coming soon. We're still working on the design. There's limitations with PET handle-wise and things, so we're working on it. But right now, we went forward with these. Hopefully, you'll appreciate them as much as we do.
So, how long until you think these are going to be in the hands of our customers?
They're bottling this week. So, we're going to run out of our inventory on these, and then you'll start getting the newer bottles. I think the new retailers are getting, Advanced Auto might be getting the new
Yep.
the new bottle.
The load-in.
So you'll start to see the new ones taking
Which
over
is
the old.
another announcement. Advance Autos now
Yep.
come aboard, and
They're phasing the product in.
right. So they'll actually start off with these. And another thing you might notice, the height difference. These quart bottles are exactly the same height as our 2-quart bottles are going to be as well too. So there'd be no height difference in between the quart and the 2-quart, just the width on that too. So
We had to do that to be able to get this extra length of neck on there. So that's our exciting news. Hopefully you'll be happy about it like we are. New
Yeah.
bottles. The labels will be coming soon. We're working on re-engineering the labels now.
yep.
And what else is going on? Events?
Events this weekend, Saturday, August 10th, the BD Diesel Dirt Rags in Chilliwack, BC, Canada. Big thanks to Georgina at BD Diesel. She's helping us out there. Shout out to Randy Harrop from Hell on Wheels. He's been a big help to us out in the Alberta area. I know he's dealing with some family issues with his daughter in the hospital. So we wish them the best and hope everything pulls through good for there. And we thank Georgina for stepping up at BD Diesel to help us out and still get the booth set up for the event this weekend. So we're thinking about you, Randy, and thanks to everybody at BD Diesel for helping us out, and hope you guys have a good race this weekend.
Very good. And the August
Yeah.
23rd, 24th.
A couple weeks from now is the next leg of the Outlaw Diesel Super Series. It's one of the big ones, the Shy Diesel Extravaganza. That's one of the biggest diesel events in the country, really, over there in Terre Haute, Indiana. We might just have a special guest next week to talk about that, or the week after. We're supposed to have them today, but
Okay.
some things came up and we had to reschedule. So
How many people are going out from our team to Shide?
a lot. Like we usually have a couple people out, but this one we have 2 booths at Shide. So I believe we're gonna have Kevin, Brett, Don, Chad's going, and then of course Trey Sykes and his wife Holly's going to be out there to help us out, and then I think Carmen's coming down as well to help out too. So it's going to be all hands on deck. We're going to have a booth inside as well as outside. Now this year at the Shy Diesel event, they changed it to just a 2-day event. So the drag racing actually takes place on Saturday. So we'll have a booth inside and outside on Friday, and then that booth on the outside on Saturday will get moved over to the racetrack. So
You guys want to take the RV?
that's what they were talking about. I think they're going to take Brett's. I'm
Okay.
sure they'd love to take yours.
Okay, sounds good.
Or just the extra one in the back here or
Yeah,
something.
that's what I was thinking. Not
Not the new one.
the big black one.
Nope, the FBI.
Yeah, not the FBI one.
So what's going on in R&D?
R&D this week, we've been working on getting all the things moved forward, but the big news is we bought a engine oil analyzer.
Oh, we bought it?
We bought it.
Awesome.
And as you folks know, we do oil analysis and we send it out to a third-party lab. We have the LSI labs or the Hot Shot Secret Oil Analysis. And we thought, it would be really nice to have them in-house to be able to do it quickly and efficiently. So we went ahead and bought the equipment. Kevin and Aaron flew down to get trained on it yesterday.
That's why they're in Florida.
Correct. So
Right.
the unit should be here by tomorrow or Monday.
Nice.
We'll get it set up in the lab and start.
How big is it?
They're pretty good size. I mean,
Yeah.
and it'll tell us all the wear metals, TBN, viscosity, all that will come through there.
All the testing that we offer now, are we going to be able to maintain all those type of
Correct.
fuel as well?
Fuel as well.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, some of the fuel tests, let me rephrase it. Some of the fuel tests we still have to send out, and some of the oil tests we'll still send out.
The
they'll-
high end and stuff like that.
Well, even
Because I know some oil tests. I mean, we
Well,
got
even if we
$15
want
oil tests. We got a couple $100 oil tests. So,
well, correct. Sometimes we want third-party validation. Yeah, verification. So we'll do it and we'll say, okay, everything's working out, but let's just send it out to make sure. But the nice thing is we can bring it in, get it done within a day, get it run, we can see what's going on. We can test every sample leaving here. We can make sure that everything's up to par, so it should be good. It'll also help us with,
and we have a great relationship with the lab that we've used up till now, and
for 20 years.
we've had we had
And we'll
one of our,
continue to use them.
absolutely, and we had one of our we had a polling team in here earlier today, along with Lawyer Farms, who we work with, and that was one of the things that we were talking about. We're going to start doing some analysis on all their fluids inside this polling tractor that they have. And one of the unique things came up was the fact that we do a lot of this testing off-site. Well, from a marketing perspective, when we're putting out claims on our product, we can test it. We have the machine is going to give us the same results, but having the benefit of a third party doing it rather than us gives us, just gives more credibility and the trust out there that people can say, we don't have our thumb on the scale or anything.
Correct, exactly. Well, the big win on this is when we're doing testing on different products ourselves, we can kind of test on the fly. So one of the things, like think about the Franz
The
filter.
turnaround time on R&D, just waiting for.
Well, yeah. I mean, by the time we mail it, they run it, get us the results. So we try a Franz filter on a different vehicle. What did it do? We could test it this afternoon, make a change, and test it again tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what Kevin said. He said we could get results in like 15 minutes.
Correct. So we could do this on the fly.
Right.
And even, we're testing a 0W8 weight. I mean, it'd be fun to pull a sample every week and watch the progression of wear, that type of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it'll be exciting. It's another big step.
Speaking of 0W8, I haven't heard an update on that in a while.
We got to get that in and get the oil change. I keep forgetting about it. I'll probably have it here tomorrow.
Okay.
I'll do my best.
I knew somebody would ask if I don't, so.
Yeah, we get a lot of projects going, and sometimes we forget about some of those. Well, how about questions? Let's do a real quick check on
All right,
that. See if
let's see
anybody
who we got.
interested.
I see Steve Schwanger just tuned in. Hey, Steve, how you doing, bud? I heard he blew another head gasket. Too much power, Steve. Too much power. Brian Check is in. Yeah, I'm no longer single. I finally got joined here with my partner. We had to start without you, so everybody was a little worried. We usually don't do this a solo show.
Not single?
Yeah. Big time for you, Kyle. So, Sean Tripley's in. Great products, great company. Troy Kennedy's in. Keith Woods says, got FR3 from you at a dirt track in Lebanon, PA. Works great, just like the rest of the products. Huh. I wonder who you got it from there. Keith Woods, let us know who was selling it there. I wonder if it was one of our local dealers or...
Could be. We weren't there, right?
Not at Lebanon, PA. Not that I can think of. I don't recall. I remember Trey Sykes talking a lot about some of the dirt track guys that really find advantage of it. So just not a market we've really penetrated too much.
One of the interesting things, just to take a quick side note here, when we were doing the testing on FR3, it does a lot of different. It is the best product in the world, and I'm not, like just making up stuff. It is really unique because we developed this ourselves right here in Mount Gilead. But one of the unique things is that the film strength is increased around the rings, and less dirt is ingressed into the engine oil, which is extremely unique. So at a dirt track where there's dirt everywhere, if you're able to cut that back, that helps the engine's life tremendously. The dirt is sand, and that just scratches up the inside of the engine. It's just as simple as that.
It's just the worst size.
Well, the more dirt you have, the more wear you have.
Right.
If you look at, I could literally show you tens of thousands of oil analyses that we've done over 20 years. And whenever you see the silicon go up, you're also going to see the iron go up.
Right.
They're directly
You
relational.
were just talking about it the other day when we were looking at analysis.
Nothing you can do about it.
No.
It's an abrasive. So anyway.
Well, you can throw FR3 in there, get your film strength up, get those rings sealed better, get less dirt through there.
It is a really cool find.
It is cool. So, USMC Racing, wait a minute, you have koozies now? We do have koozies now. We've been asking about those. I'll get you a couple koozies, Brian. I think they just picked up the koozies when, the cat's out of the bag now. It was one of the things that were in our mystery boxes, was our Hot Shots koozies. So, I don't know, I don't think we're like selling them online, but maybe we'll gift them, for some Facebook watchers or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody loves koozies. Look at this. Who knew?
Let me see one of those koozies.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just wondering if we should put them on the bottle as a promotional.
Oh, there you go. They're actually really nice koozies.
Doesn't fit.
16?
There we go.
Oh, there you go.
There's a new promotional. No, that's a bad idea. Somebody will drink it.
Here comes Richard. He's gonna cut.
That's a bad idea. Forget that.
So Justin Hood says my 7.3 runs so much smoother when I started using Hot Shot Secret. Great to hear, Justin. Let us know which products you're using. 7.3 is the Huey injectors. I'm assuming you're on
Stiction Eliminator Diesel
yep.
Extreme.
You got it. Trey Sykes, hashtag nerdy info. Yeah, Trey likes like you said, he prefers the white paper over.
He does.
Troy Kennedy, is the FR3 part of the gun oil?
It is.
It is.
It is part of the gun oil, and we had to change the viscosity and some of the ingredients, but it was the same idea. One of the big call outs on the FR3s. We're able to reduce wear. Even just blended into an engine oil at 50%, or 5%, I'm sorry, we were able to reduce wear by 50%. So that was a huge amount of reduction in wear. So we thought, okay, what happens when we put this into a gun? One of the other unique things about it, besides reducing the coefficient of friction, is that it is almost, well, it is ashless. So a lot of times when you're cleaning a gun, the black ash that you're getting, some of that's coming from the lubricant that was put in there. So by having an ashless product, it stays cleaner longer.
Oh.
And then because it is a full synthetic, there's a couple group 5 esters in there. It has a minus 75 pour point. And when I get up there, my gun is all gummy and doesn't want to fire correctly, because when I lubed it up in Florida, it was 90 degrees and it worked fine. So this product does not do that. It acts at 90 degrees just like it would at minus 50.
Right.
So it's a good multi-climate type product. Clean, it reduces wear, and just makes everything very, very slippery.
Yep. All we've heard is good stuff from the gun oil.
I have not heard anything bad about it yet.
Yeah, and it's funny. It's never really a product that was going to be on our rig. We didn't. It actually came from our friends at Team Fitzgerald.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah.
If you guys might know them from the Outdoor Channel, they're big fans of our products. They run our diesel products in their trucks and everything, and they came around and kind of pushed us to look into it. I know some of the other big lubricant companies out there offer gun oil, and like Chris always does, well, we're only going to do it if we can make the best out there. And
That's right.
sure enough, we formulated some, and then we had it tested with,
Hoppies. Yeah, so we test against what we could find off the shelf, and the idea was, okay, we know it's good. We've asked a couple people, and they've told us it's good. So is it the best of the best? So we went out and bought all the different gun oils, or went on Amazon and bought all the different gun oils, and then brought them in here and started testing them. So we're pretty confident that it is a different product. We know it's a different formula. We know that nobody else can do this because we have not just the special formula, but we also have the rights to some of these products in North America, so we know nobody else can buy them. So it is truly unique.
You couldn't copy us if you tried.
Correct. I mean, you really couldn't, because you'd have to get some of the core ingredients from us.
And then there's the synergies, so good luck even if you had the core ingredients.
Correct.
We got it on lock. So Troy Kennedy is asking if Trey also models the beard oil. I think he does. If you tip him, he'll
Put the beard oil on. You guys are making me nervous. Unicorn beard oil.
Unicorn lube. Trey Ordonez says 830 horsepower supercharged Nordic heat, FR3 in every oil change, oil temps reduced. Great, Trey. Yep. That's the number one thing you first see right away is the reduction in temperature.
It's a very unique product, and not just what's unique is we're not just reducing the temperature because of reduced friction. I mean, that's happening, but the nanocarbons are drawing the heat away and causing it to dissipate much quicker. And
Because
that's
we actually have a way to keep the nanocarbons suspended in the oil,
correct.
which they want to fall out. And that's one of our patents.
That is, and all nanoparticles have been around for a good bit now, and it was a big thing in the lubricant industry, and they still use them in greases because they get some wins. But what they found is nobody can keep them suspended in liquid. So even when they've tried, they come back and you take a bottle like this, and in the bottom you'll see like a little dust. Where the patent on that product, one of the 3 patents, is that we can suspend the nanocarbon indefinitely. It just does not ever come out of suspension.
And like you said, the carbon itself is a conductor of heat. So, the FR3, the friction reducer part of that name is such an understatement of what it is. So a lot of the advantage is the reduction of friction, and that is where a lot of your heat reduction comes from. But really that carbon is I like to say it likes to suck the heat out of the oil, but really it's conducting the heat and pulling it. So you actually see a reduction in oil temp.
Well, I think it's actually sucking the heat out of the metal and running it through. I don't know. Could go either way. I have to think about that. But I mean, it not only does that, but it increases the film strength, which is really unique. And because they're, between 3 and 9 nanocarbons thick, they're filling all the asperities in the metal with little tiny BBs that are, much smaller. So those asperities are in the micron size.
Yep.
Nanos are 1,000 times smaller than a micron. So, I mean, it really, it's hard to grasp all that. And we're working on some animations and some ways to pull this together to not just show you, but even to understand it better ourselves. It really is a great product. It's phenomenal on how well it works.
Yep. Trey Sykes replying to Troy there saying, absolutely the boring action lubricant has FR3 in it. You know, there's Trey's back us up all the time. Trey uses FR3 as beard oil. Here's one you're going to love. Sean Bottomley, big friend of the show, says, hey y'all, slide outs for campers. Anything you guys might have for that? You want to release some news?
But I don't know, what news do we have? It's funny, my slide out was just giving me problems last night. It's funny you asked that. I've got a 40-foot RV with a full slide, full half. And last time I went camping, the front half went out and the back didn't.
That's
I'm
not
like,
good.
No, that's not good. So now we're stuck. So I'm pushing it out, and I was able to get through the camping trip. Went and checked. The hydraulic fluid was fine. I put some FR3 into the hydraulic system, and I thought maybe it was unequal pressure. Well, that didn't do it. I'm thinking, okay, what's going on? I got under there and looked at those slides, and they ride on a Teflon block. Just that's how they move. And I noticed that the front two slides were shiny and smooth, and the back one looked, I don't want to say corroded, but it wasn't as shiny and smooth.
Right.
I mean, it was still there, so I'm thinking, okay, there's some resistance here. So I put some FR3 in the spray bottle, which is still not available to the public because we're still getting samples, and started working it back and forth, and all of a sudden my slide's working again. So yeah, that's good. But we are coming out with an RV slide oil, which will include FR3. And what's special about that, is that it's got a like a tackifier. It's actually a two-part system where the oil's coming through on one and the tackifier part's coming on the other, so it doesn't drip.
It's like a spray and stay.
Yeah, exactly.
You like that?
Yeah, I do like that. Spray and stay. So that's the idea behind it, is so that you're not getting it on the vehicle.
Right.
I didn't do that. I just wiped it off. But
So, Sean, to answer your question, absolutely. Not only are we bringing an entire RV line of products out, one of the specialty products within that RV line is going to be specifically for the slides. So I hope you're happy about that, because if you got a problem with your camper, just sit tight. We're going to fix it.
RV slide oil,
Don't get Sean going.
John.
Sean Bottomley.
Oh.
Bearded, yeah. Lube it right day and night.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Oh.
There he's
Well,
talking-
give us some good names. We need them.
Well, don't. If you ask for good names on our slide out oil, we're in trouble.
Come on, we need a good name for our slide out oil. Sean, you can do this.
James Bruce, yeah. Where's he at?
Lubing it right day and night.
All right, so Troy Kennedy says, when is the FR3 paint coating coming out? I put that stuff in everything. Paint coating?
I have no idea. I have not looked at any paint coatings. It's funny. Kevin, our buddy Kevin, the mad scientist, 2 years ago, I went in and he had all these different waxes and appearance products and polymers on his desk, and he's got like little dishes mixed up with stuff, and I'm like, Kevin, what are you doing? He's like, well, I'm thinking about a new wax. And I'm like, a wax for what? He's like, for cars. So I got samples of all the different waxes and polymers, and I got thinking about this. If we did this and this and this, we could come out with a new finish. I said, I don't know that we should be doing that. There's a lot, there's a lot of people doing that already. Yeah, but we got some unique chemistries. It's like, all right, let's just put that one on the back burner for now.
Hey, we have a good partnership with Jack's Wax, a Columbus-based company that's a whole in that industry. Maybe we could contact them, see if they need any science help on the product. We could co-brand with them.
I'm open to it.
There you go. Todd Isaac, hit me up. We'll get you in touch with our mad scientist who formulates stuff on his desk when he shouldn't be.
Well, he's supposed to. That's what he gets paid the big bucks
You're
for.
probably doing the lab, though. Probably a better place for that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a problem sometimes.
USSC,
Have you ever looked under Kevin's desk?
There's got to be chicken there. That's all I know.
Go.
Because every time I'm in his office, he's sitting there, and all of a sudden he just reaches like this, and there's a piece of chicken in his hand. I'm like, how much chicken is under your desk?
He was gone. Yes, he was at Tampa, and I went in there looking for something, and I'm like, his desk was all cleaned off, and it looked nice to me. I'm like, I know this was in here, so I looked under his desk. I am not kidding. There was no room for your legs. It was packed and stacked with all kinds of stuff down there. And I'm like, oh my gosh, all right, never mind. I'm not digging through that. So,
I'm not surprised. He made it look good, though. Looks like everyone likes the bottles. USMC Racing says, "Them are sexy." Brent Hilliard says, "Long necks!" Exclamation point. Sean Tripley says, "Very cool bottles."
All right. Good feedback so far.
Trey says, "Cowfish could be a hand model. Look at that perfect manicure." I don't know what he's talking about. Trey Ordonez, please get some marine products, outdrive gear oil additive, or any other thing.
We are working on that for this quarter.
Yep, marine's
Well-
coming up. You guys are like one step ahead of us in all this stuff. Well, actually, we're following your guys' lead. That's kind of where these start from.
We had a goal to put 2 new products into each section every quarter, and we may start working harder at that. I mean, even up that to 2 or 3.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we're just thinking it through.
And to give you an example of what Marcus was talking about, you know, obviously we're a diesel, automotive, the gasoline side of things. We're looking at RVs, we're looking at marine products, we're looking at agricultural products, outdoor, small engines, you name it, anything where a lubricant can help. We're really looking to take a lot of the knowledge that we already have, the advancements we have that we know are already going to work as they stand, and see the particular problems and how they differ in each one of those small markets, and then improve on those so we can actually have market-specific products that are actually formulated to fix those particular issues.
Well, what's unique about what we can do, because we're still pretty small and agile, is we're able to dive into the project within days. You know, get samples, look at what they're doing, look at their performance characteristics, and then understand what's available in the globe. Now, when I say the globe, I truly do mean the globe. So, not to get too sidetracked, but just give me a minute or two to unfold this. Let's say you're another additive company, you're pretty much looking at your resources in terms of, here's who blends my product for me, and what do you have available? I want to come up with a new additive. What do you got? So they'll go back to their formula book and say, I can give you this, this, or this. Okay, give me that one. That looks like the right price point and the right call outs for me. And then that's where they come out with their product. What we do is, you know, we go to all the trade shows, we talk to all the different chemical companies around the world. And then we're looking at, say, an RV lube, and we're saying, okay, what if you took this product from Israel and put it in here? That solves this in a really unique way.
Right.
We don't limit ourselves to what one supplier can do for me or two. We literally will bring products in from anywhere and blend them ourselves, package them ourselves, do the testing ourselves, and say, okay, this is why it's worth the price we're asking, is because we've done the test and this is why it's needed, and move from there. That's our thing.
Absolutely. David Robinson asks, will you have a new EDT bottle with the 1 ounce pre-measure bowl on top? Talking about the 16 squeeze.
Yeah.
Those are probably going to remain, I believe, is what
Yeah.
I've heard. It's just tough. We can't really do that with PET, an injection mold like that, can we?
No, PET is a harder plastic, so it's more brittle. And those squeeze bottles need enough flexibility. The other problem with the squeeze bottle is those are all patented. So we have to buy them from somebody who already is paying the licensing fees and
For that shape of bottle, right?
Correct. So I just can't go out and make a mold and do that. They'll get us for, you know, patent infringements. We wouldn't want to do that anyway.
Right.
But on the squeeze bottle, we are limited to what's already available in the market because it's already developed. You know, Staybill has a great bottle. A couple other people have like a 2-sided bottle. We tried that. The problem with the 2-sided bottle is you can't pour it very easily.
Right.
So then we ended up with a single fill bottle that we have to put the cork in.
Well, it's just like anything. If we can't make it better than what's out there, you know, what's out there, that 16 squeeze serves the purpose just fine.
Absolutely.
I'm a little sad it's not clear and as pretty as the new line, but functionality-wise, I know a lot of people like it, so.
I do have some really good ideas that if I could pull it together before
Uh-oh.
next year, that everybody here will be really stoked and excited about it. It's a revolutionary way of looking at fuel additives. It'll change the market.
Do you want to share it?
No, not yet. But I'll
Are we
tell
talking
you
about
this.
bottling or product?
I don't want to tip my hand
Uh-oh.
because it's really, again, it is truly revolutionary. It will change the way we do things. So I'll tell you after the show.
Okay. Interesting.
I've been working on it for a couple months. I just haven't got all the pieces together, but they're coming together.
All right. Brent Hilliard asks, are the ounce marks on the new bottles on the label or made in the bottle? They will be on the label. I'm pretty sure.
They will. We couldn't do that on PET.
Yeah, we couldn't.
So PET comes in like a thick plastic test tube, and then they put hot air in it and it expands out to make these. I don't think you can put those markings on.
Well, yeah, but also the difference too is we have, we actually mark a couple differently. I know the TBN's different. But yeah, so they'll be on the label just like they currently are. And we still are going to have like, this is overlap because this is our old label. I think no, these extremes are the old one too. But we still will have this diagonal cut in the label, so you can actually see through and see where your level of fluid is measured up against the marker there of how many ounces are left or that you need.
One of the things we'd like to do in the near future, like maybe next quarter or this quarter, is start looking at redoing the label styles. I love our labels; they look really good.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems to me, and maybe you guys can help us with this, but the industry seems to be turning into a different kind of look, a more simplified, I don't know how to describe it, I'm not a marketing person, but it seems like a blocky look. I went out to the retail shelf and was looking at some of the other labels that are there, and they have 1/4 of this much material on them. It's much simpler, there's a lot more graphic.
That will make Jen very, 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 very happy.
Well, I hope so. So we need to start doing some research on that.
Graphic designers always wants things more simple, more simple.
Yeah, we need
That's
to.
where we get the unicorn farting rainbows.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Jen knows. Jen will know. That's a show. That's a Jen.
Unicorns farting rainbows.
Well, when we go back and forth over like label design with Jen, you hit a graphic designer with that, they get to the point where she finally said, "Why don't I just put a unicorn farting rainbows on the label?" So that's a little in-house thing. We actually have decals that show that now. So
Okay.
that's a graphic designer saying, "Chill out. We got too much on the label. Let's tone it down."
Okay.
Okay, Michael Thompson. I run the Stiction Eliminator in my truck as well as FR3. What a difference. I've also added some FR3 to my inboard-outboard boat motor, and it's made it run a lot better. Runs smoother and has more power, especially the hole shot on it. Wow.
You can run FR3 in anything.
Yeah.
I mean, we're selling it as a follow-up to our diesel treatment, but you can run anything. I put it in chainsaws. I put it in my golf cart.
I put it in
everything.
I put it in my lawnmower.
Yep. It does make a difference. I mean, you can tell within 5 minutes that it's in there.
We've talked before, hydraulics,
Yep.
power steering, it's great in. Absolutely. Lawrence Lee says, would be nice if your products were sold closer to me. Well, Lawrence, let us know where you're at. We actually have a functionality on our website. If you go there, you can click on the left side that says Find a Store, and then you can punch in your zip code or your area, and it will bring up local retailers, local independent dealers that have our products. So you might be surprised. You might have somebody nearby that does sell our product. And of course, I think Levi's bringing up our map, what it kind of looks like there. So you can punch in, it will show you all our retailers, and then it shows you all the independent dealers. On top of that, of course, you can order direct from our website. Our website, we ship worldwide. So
Worldwide. Tractor Supply, we have Tractor Supply, AutoZone, O'Reilly's, of course, Rural King. But as far as the full lineup, or as much of the full lineup as you can get, Tractor Supply has TBM Booster, FR3, Stiction Eliminator, Diesel Extreme, EDT. I mean, they've got all 5 products on the shelf. Now, the only thing I'll not want to warn you about Tractor Supply, but one of the things about Tractor Supply is a lot of times, because they are our largest breadth of line distributor, people go into Tractor Supplies and they buy the whole shelf. So that's one of the common complaints that we get is, I went to Tractor Supply, they didn't have it. Let the store manager know they get everything the next day. You can even order anything from our lineup, and they'll ship it to the store for free the next day.
Yep.
And so this is what happens. A lot of oil drillers, big ag people, and small fleets buy from Tractor Supply. And, especially up in South Dakota area is where I get a lot of complaints. The guy goes in and buys 6 bottles of Stiction Eliminator and then leaves. Well, now they're out of product for the next 2 days.
Right.
Or, so it just takes a day to get into their system that this is gone, then another day to get there. So, again, tell the store and let them know, hey, we need some stiction in there. We need FR3. I came here to buy TBM booster, and I see you're out of it.
And they can adjust their ordering schedule, so
Absolutely.
they'll get used to those type of rollovers too. David Robinson says, "Love the EDT. Just put Blue Diamond in my Cummins. So anxious to see how it does and how long I can extend oil changes." Great.
Keep us posted.
Keep us posted, David. That Blue Diamond will go forever. You keep it clean and
We'll do some oil analysis too.
yep.
Give Kevin and Aaron some practice.
Carmen's watching. Says the cat's out of the bag just now. No, you're right. I think Kevin kind of let the cat out of the bag about the mystery box on like the opening of the mystery box. So, Sean Bomley, I use the gun lubricant and love it. Good to hear.
If you could let us know what you've seen different about it, that would be helpful.
Yeah, Sean, let us know. Sean's always really good at giving us feedback. So,
One of the hardest things about the gun oil, for me, as a scientist, is there's not a lot of scientific tests.
it's tough to test.
Yeah,
Correct.
there wasn't anything. So when we do, any of these other products, I can do HFRRs, I can do wear tests, I can do all these different things and compare A, B, C, D.
Right.
Gun oil was a lot of,
Well, and we did get a lot of what do you call it? Unscientific.
yeah,
Anecdotal.
anecdotal.
There you go. Anecdotal. Like I know. I remember we were looking at some of the spent casings after going through after FR3, and you could tell that the rounds were fired cleaner. Like we had clean casings versus like these really dirty casings. So,
Well,
but like, how do you scientifically measure
Proof
that?
it, I know. Well, the biggest thing to me was we had a SWAT team use it for weekend maneuvers on a weekend, and they said very confidently that we always have 3 to 4 guns jammed.
Right.
And this weekend, not one gun jammed
Right.
using FR3, like nothing. They said, this has never happened. This is different than everything else. This is before we had a name for it or anything. This was in our initial trials before we went to the next stage of developing it further. So it lets me know it is something different.
Yep. Logan Cavender, how's it going, guys? Going to need some of that synchro mesh fluid soon. Got to rebuild the NV 4500 transmission for my dad now, and want top-notch fluid with the rebuild being performed. Well, thanks, Logan. As we mentioned, just I think it was last week or the week before, R&D just killed it on the synchro mesh. The new formula is out in an NV 4500 truck right now that is working it, as well as a race car application as well. So we're just waiting on a little bit more real-world feedback. All the lab feedback was great. The testing was great. So once we get the real-world feedback, we will make that available.
We have a label for it.
We'll
We
get
get
there.
Jen going. She'll love that.
We'll get there.
Unicorn, farting rainbows.
Oh, so it looks like Lawrence Lee. Did you just look up, is that you, Levi?
Must have been TJ.
Okay. So Lawrence Lee, it must be by Effingham, Indiana. Shy Diesel, where the event's going to be at here in 2 weeks, is an independent dealer of our product. So there you go, Lee. Or Lawrence Lee, you can swing by Shy Diesel. I know they got 3 locations there in Indiana, so they are proud supporters of our products. Sean Bonnelly, man, I lost top fan. Keep working, Sean. We'll get you back up there. Top fan Sean Tripoli says, am I equally protected if I just run Stiction Eliminator over straight FR3? Am I equally protected? Stiction versus FR3?
Yes.
Nah, not scientifically, I would say.
Well, no, you would be, because the difference between the Stiction Eliminator and the FR3 is the FR3 is at half the treat rate, which made it more economical to use.
Correct.
And we pulled some of the detergent out. But if you're using Stiction Eliminator at the regular treat rate, you don't need FR3. It's at
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So if you're using
Not the 4 ounce dosage, the initial cleanout dosage. That's where it's at 62% wear reduction.
correct.
So at the standard follow-up treat rate versus an FR3 standard dosage, you're both at about 42, 43%.
Somewhere in there, yeah.
Yeah.
So it'd be fine either way. The detergents and the extra cleaners that we put in the Stiction Eliminator are probably not necessary as your follow-up oil changes. So the FR3, the main motivation was to bring the cost more in line with what would be palatable to everybody. We can treat a passenger car, $11 to $12, which is really reasonable,
Right.
and that's good. We always felt tough that it was, treat a pickup truck, it's going to cost $55 for the initial cleanup with stiction eliminator. If I could have done it for 10, I would have done it, but
Yep.
it just couldn't do it. That's what it took to get the job done.
So Logan says, loving these mystery boxes I ordered as well. Looking forward to testing the lubrication enhancer product in my Harley. Great. Keep us posted, Logan.
We have a name for that.
Yeah, we haven't announced that yet. Well, let's wait till we get the actual label and ready.
Well,
We just rolled out new bottles, so we only have so many surprises.
hey, this is the LSI family. I don't think you hold back.
It's your floor.
So after talking to all of you folks, doing tests online, going to races, we tried to put a little bit of science behind our naming process thanks to our education department. We have an education department.
It's actually the Edge of Funimation department.
Edge of Fun
Yep.
Education. So that is Tammy and Magdalena, and their job as the education department is to bring an educator's eye to it. We explain things. Did we explain it well, or did we go over your head, or we didn't explain enough? So they are taking everything we're doing and running it through the process of putting it into a curriculum, putting it into the right way to say it, and just bringing everything up a couple levels. So when it came time to rename the product or to come up with a name for it, instead of just kicking some names around a table like we've always done, they said, there is a process for this, and this is the process. They looked it up online and they brought it to us, and we had a workshop, and we're all scratching our heads thinking, wow, I never thought about that. There's actually a process to coming up with a name. So after 2 rounds of doing this naming thing, and it was based on how much it looked and sounded like science, how much did you feel like you could trust the name?
A lot of surveys of our
The surveys, what were the other questions? It was like trustworthiness,
scientific sounding.
and there's a couple other things that they were
Yeah.
looking for. And they rated them, like this name sounded scientific, but it wasn't, nobody trusted it. This name was trustworthy, but it did not sound scientific. So we found the one that fit best according to them, and it is Lubricity Extreme 4. LX4 will be the ingredient, because this, just like our FR3 is a standalone product, but then it ends up being a core ingredient and other things. It has 2 purposes. This lubricity additive that Kevin and Aaron came up with will be the same way. It will become core to all of our products that are fuel side.
Right.
But at the same time, it will be a standalone product all on its own. If you just want a lubricity additive, this will be, and it will be called Lubricity
Yep.
Extreme 4.
Just like you see on our stiction eliminator, it's an engine restorative with FR3 nano lubricant. We
Right.
actually have our FR3 on there. Same thing goes, we have FR3 in our TBN booster. Our whole line of oils has FR3 infused into it. So our new formulation on this lubricity additive, it will be a standalone product, just like FR3 is on the oil side. But also, you're going to start seeing it in our Diesel Extreme and our EDT. So it'll be EDT with LX4 and Diesel Extreme with LX4 in it. So
Lubricity Extreme
4.
4. I don't remember what the 4 is for, but we're going to make something look good. I'm just kidding. It actually has a purpose. I don't remember what it was, but I think it was 4 times what everybody else's lubricity additive was.
I don't recall. I just know this was.
We can go back to our workshop and
Yep.
see. So hopefully, at least half of you like it. There's probably half of you that don't, because you want a lubricity gold. Or
our loyal fans just want the good product,
I know.
so we're good.
Lubricity Extreme 4.
All right, we got a lot more to get through here. So Evan Tracy says, yes, longer necks, exclamation point. I spilled like 8 ounces of EDT yesterday all over my catwalk. Ugh. Well, Evan, new bottles coming soon, bud.
Sorry about that.
Eric Perini's watching. How you doing, Eric?
Eric Perini, Tom Perini's?
Yep.
Cool.
It's his son.
Hey, tell Tom we said hello.
Uh-oh. They're working on Sean said thanks for the update, speaking about the slide lube for the RV. He said, give me a few days to get a name for you. Well, Logan Cavender chimes in quickly. Smooth Slide Enhancer. Sean says, just Smooth Slide. So here
Smooth
they go.
Slide.
Smooth Slide.
Okay, Sean, we'll see if we can get a bottle of Smooth Slide and send it to you.
Andy Shanks in here. He says, detail products for the win. Well, Andy, that's a little bit market we probably will never get into. But I would love to work with Jack's Wax on special. We could be like the LX4 into Jack's Wax products. We could bring a special formula in to somebody who's already got that market cornered. I'm telling you. Hey,
company
new.
is
A
crazy.
new wax fortified with FR3. Everyone's going towards these.
FR3?
All right. Or how about Slide Right? Sean likes that one too.
Slide right?
Yeah. I put FR3 in my 1998 lawnmower. Seems to run a bit better. A lot better. John Wood says, just started using the FR3. Put it in my work truck with a noisy power steering pump. And after a couple days, it's gotten much quieter. Great product.
Power steering pumps.
They love it. Yeah.
If you ever want to prove a product out, that is the place to do it. That stuff works great, and it just takes a shot glass full.
Yep. If that. I mean, depends on your capacity, but we about 5%. So.
We advertise on Two Guys Garage, on Car Fix, and those programs down there, All Girls Garage and Truck U. So one of the hosts of the show, Willie, on Two Guys Garage, is one of the hosts. So I went down there, and when we have shoots, we used to go down, and you'd have to be there for technical support. They would do the scene, and then they would come back and say, did I say everything right? Did I say anything wrong? Because once it's on TV, it's, you guys know if they say something wrong, you're going to be like, what's wrong with you? You said this wrong. So you just watch them do the scene. They ask, is everything right? Yep, they said everything right. Or no, you should have said it this way. That's not quite right. So I walk in, and it's normally a long process because this isn't an exact science. They tell you to be there at 3. That doesn't mean they're shooting your stuff at 3.
Right.
So I get there at usually 8 o'clock or 7:30. And as soon as I walked in, they were in the middle of a shoot when I got there. They start early. And as soon as they cut that scene, Willie comes over. He sees me, comes over, he says, dude, I got to tell you, your FR3 is crazy good for power steering pumps. He said, we had a truck that we brought in here that we had modified and put big tires on, giant tires. And he says, and if you guys know who Willie is, I mean, he's huge. He's a big guy. And he says, we got in here, and you had to go hand over hand to turn the steering wheel in the shop. And he said, we took a shot glass full of FR3, put in the power steering pump, and he goes, I'm one-handing, moving this thing back and forth. He says, I could not believe it. It was 15 seconds. There was that much difference.
Yep.
And then he's like, how does it work? And how did you miss? I went on to explain to him why, and he was pretty excited about it.
And we have such a big, truck following. A lot of these guys have big tires. And they get a little bit of leftover FR3 in the corner of the garage.
Okay, now think about this. That pump, that's a hydraulic pump, power steering pump, is made, say you have 20-inch tires, factory.
Oh, yeah,
factory. And then you put, what would you put on, 28-inch tires?
Yes, but 33s.
Okay, so you put 33. Think about the percentage that you just increased and how much more hydraulic pressure is needed. But the pump hasn't been upgraded.
Right.
So adding the FR3 fixes that.
Sure.
That's really cool.
Yep. Okay, we can keep going here. Lawrence Lee says, Hot Shot Secret, I have a 2006 Dodge Ram 2500 with a Cummins motor. What all would you recommend for it? 2006, you probably got some miles on it right now. Start off with stiction eliminator first, get your deep clean out of your motor. And then you want to switch to FR3 on your follow-up oil changes. And then to clean up the fuel side, you want to start with your diesel extreme, get the full clean out on that, follow up with EDT and every tank after that. It's our 2-step treatment on both sides. It's perfect for a 13-year-old diesel truck that needs some love.
So this is what will happen. When you put that stiction eliminator in your engine on an oil change, you're going to go change oil, put the stiction eliminator in there, replace a quart of oil or whatever the treatment ratio is. And you're going to put the diesel extreme in one tank. This is a one-time cleanup or once-a-year cleanup, depending on how much you drive. Your truck within days is going to be running totally different, like a lot better. And what we're doing is we're cleaning up 13 years of stiction inside the engine. Now the stiction is the burnt hydrocarbons that are left behind. Inside that engine, you're running, 180 degrees oil?
Easy.
Yeah, so there's going to be spots now on the camshaft where the cams are hidden that might be 300 degrees. Now the oil isn't going to live up to 300 degrees temperature. Now you're going to start to get this little buildup here. Inside other areas like the turbocharger,
especially the bearing there.
The turbo bearing is going to be burning at about 500 degrees. So what you're doing is you're cooking the oil on that bearing, and we're going to clean that off. Now what's unique about it is we're not just cleaning it, but we're gently cleaning it and lubricating it.
At the same time.
So using these esters, we're cleaning off all that varnish and that stiction, and then we're coating it with nanocarbon, so it's actually rolling better than it did probably new. And you'll notice different. On the fuel side, we're doing the same thing. The diesel extreme is a deep clean, just like going to the dentist twice a year. You're going in there, we're cleaning up the tank, we're taking care of any moisture, rust and corrosion. We're going to lubricate your pump and your injectors. We have the maximum treat rate that we can do as far as detergency, so we're going to clean the tips of those injectors it would not surprise me at all if you didn't see a 2 mile per gallon increase in your miles per gallon.
Sure.
Like 2 days later, you should be up 2 miles per gallon.
And we're hopefully going to have a special guest on next week that it's going to be in-house.
Mhm.
I got to tell you about that is going to be a testimonial to exactly what happens when you do that.
Okay.
So it's going to be great. You're going to love it. Troy Kennedy and Sean Bottomley are going back and forth with ideas for you. Slide
Okay.
screw, slide out lube. Slider, let it ride. Slide ride. Slide screw loose. I'll just let them keep going. Logan Cavender says, did an oiled and fuel filter service for a coworker's 2015 Dodge Cummins and recommended Stiction Eliminator and Diesel Extreme in his truck, and he is truly happy with the products and said he will be continuing to use your products as well. Great, Logan. I had a meeting earlier today, and we were kind of talking about that. We try to have an open table like this. Is why we do these conversations. But at the end of the day, we're still a manufacturer. I'm still a sales guy. I'm still a marketing guy. It's guys like you that use our product. And when we do studies, it says, we interview and do market research, finding out what makes you buy a product, time and time again, because somebody recommended it.
Yeah.
So we really appreciate that, Logan. We really appreciate you, bringing somebody new into the Hot Shots family, and then we're confident that once they try it, they stick with us. So welcome your new friend to the Hot Shots family, and thanks for being such a good ambassador for us. Sean backs that up. He says, I use all their products, highly recommend changing to their oil, Stiction, and TSE, and FR3 in the power steering pump, and I use their product in my differentials too. All improvements across the boards. That's another thing FR3 is great for, throwing the diffs and the gears. Brent Hilliard asks, freeze-dried FR3 a new product?
Freeze-dried FR3?
He's asking. We'll take that to the lab.
Okay.
Christian Bates, do the new bottles not leak like the old ones?
Well, I hope the old ones didn't leak, but the truth is that when we put these through the line, we put the cap on, and then it goes to an inductor sealer, which melts this foil seal to it. And sometimes it's not a perfect science. Sometimes it can loose, and then
I don't think they seal these, do they?
So during shipping and things, it's getting pounded, and you're getting pressure, and then it pops it. But the most part, it's made to not leak. And I'm sorry if you had that.
Oh, they did seal them.
Yeah, you can see they're sealed up there.
Well, I will say this much. This is a different seal.
Yeah, the seal has to match the plastic that you're using.
But look, these are like an old foil seal.
Yeah.
This is like a double layer. See, it's got foil and like a heavier seal on
Like
top.
paper, yeah.
So the seal has changed.
Hopefully it's better.
Hopefully it's better, and I'm sure it's probably because it's got something. It's got to have something that
Well,
bonds to this, plastic a little differently.
The seal has to match the plastic
Right.
you're using.
Right.
Because it's melting into it.
Well, there you go. We hope
We have it solved.
Yeah, right. The gun lubricant from the mystery box was awesome. Great, Christian. I appreciate that.
Let us know how it works. Go try it and report back.
And Sean just reported on that. I noticed cleaning the guns and then using your gun oil, the slide action is 15 times smoother.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
great. That was what I first reported when I tested it when we were still formulating it. Evan Tracy says the gun oil fixed my squeaky air ride truck seat. It really is, because of the applicator bottle like that. It does come in handy for other things too. So now we should say we do have the aerosols now. I just saw them. So the gun lube now is available in an aerosol bottle, and we'll be ramping up production on that as well.
The aerosol, we think, is going to be a much easier thing to do in a production basis. So the little bottles are kind of tough they're very labor intensive.
Let's see, Christian and Sean are having a conversation. Tom Perini's watching. How you doing, Tom?
Tom, good afternoon.
Pretty transmission. I'll let them keep talking. Max Pavlik, I have looked into the France filter. What is the pros and cons
With the France filter?
of the France filter? I cannot think of a con.
Just the installation takes time.
Yeah, but we're working on that.
Yeah, so what the France filter, what he's talking about, is a bypass filtration system that will take a strain of your oil off, take it down to 1 micron, and feed it back into the oil system. So the big story is, within about 250 miles, that oil will be cleaner than the brand new oil that you have in a quart of oil. Now, it needs change probably every 20 to 30,000 miles. The filters are not terribly expensive.
Look what I got.
They work really well. Is that going to show up on the camera, Levi?
Oh yeah.
So you can see how it works. So what we're doing is we're taking pressurized oil. Why don't you show them how that works? On that
Sure.
side. All we need is like a little bit of pressure from your oil, run through the filter, and then send it back in.
Yep. So this is the sandwich adapter. So your normal spin-on filter here. We just put this in between, so you can see the line coming off here. It takes what, about 10% of the oil flow out, and
We get about a quart per minute.
quart per minute runs up into the France filter here itself, which then takes it down to 1 micron. And with this is an actual example of a Duramax setup where it then returns right back to your oil cap, which we have a billet oil cap replacement there.
Yeah, you can snap it off and show them.
Which one?
Snap off. We put quick connects on there.
Oh, that's right. This one with that. There you go.
See, so the quick connect goes on. We had special caps made with a port so we can feed the oil back in there.
And you know what's nice about this too? Anybody doing oil sampling, which you probably are doing if you're doing this, it's really easy to get a sample out of this.
I think that closes up, but you can just take the cap off and fill the bottle up. And I did this on an installation video a couple weeks ago.
Hand model.
And it worked.
Hand
well.
model.
Hand model.
All right, we got a couple more to knock out. I think we're like almost over. We are over.
Yes.
Okay, to the last couple questions here. Christian Bates, are y'all working on an ATF that'll work for transmissions that take Dex 3 Merc? Where do you got that?
We do?
Oh, is it Dex 3 Merc different?
Don't know.
I know it's a Dex 6 that we got. I'll check on that, Christian. We'll let you know. Sean Bottomy, all right, 1996 Honda Shadow VT600. What can I use? 10,000 miles. Go.
1996. What was it?
Honda Shadow motorcycle VT600. 10,000 miles.
FR3 and gasoline extreme.
Yep.
Yeah. So the FR3, you're only gonna need 8 ounces.
Yeah. Well, not even.
I think that's what Brett did. So we were able to get about a 5% increase in horsepower putting the FR3 into the motorcycle. The gasoline extreme will clean out the fuel side and keep it fresh. Probably should find it. Someday soon we'll have, as part of our RV lineup, we'll probably end up doing it on the motorcycle too, but have a fuel stabilizer built into it also, because motorcycles will sit.
Yep.
We don't want that.
We don't want that. All right, so last couple things real quick. Brent Hilliard asked something new coming on the France filter installation. We're working on a couple new things. Stay tuned. We're going to be working with Firepunk Diesel on their brand new 19 Dodge Cummins they just bought. And we're going to do some videos with that on a new installation technique and procedure. So that's coming up soon. If Levon calls me back, call me, Levon, I need those measurements so we can get you some custom hoses for it. And I want to finish with Trey Sykes here.
My buddy Trey.
This is buddy Trey. Trey says, LX4 is going to do wonders for everyone with the CP4 fueled diesel engine. The lifetime CP4 failure rate using pump diesel in the U.S. is 6 to 8%, as our standard in this country is 560 or less on the HFRR wear scar test. Very dry. For example, in Canada and Australia, they have a standard of 460 or less at the pump and have a CP4 failure rate of less than 1%. On my wife's CP4 powered VW, I'll be sure to use LX4 to supplement EDT in every tank from now on. Hashtag second best sponsored driver. Hashtag shots fired part 2.
Okay, so when he's, thank you, Trey. When he's talking about the AHFR, high frequency reciprocating rig, and he's saying, you know, our standard is 520 and in Europe is 460, and that lowers the amount of failure they have. When we added our LX4, we were down to 294. So we're at 294, 520, and even Europe is only at 460. So we are.
Right, and I mean, think about that. At 560 here, 6 to 8% failure rate. That's how, yeah, it was, but that was on different wear scar
fuel.
test. Yep. But just moving it from 560 to 460 goes from 6 to 8% failure to 1%. Our product can get you 100 points in that HFR test. So
Yeah.
anybody with a CP4, CP3 even, this is gold for you. So we are going to wrap up. We never really got to our FR3, but we kind of got to it because we had a lot of talking in today about our FR3. And just want to thank everybody. We're going to pick a couple people right now. to win a bottle of FR3. That's Trey Ordonez, Justin Hood, and Lawrence Lee. If the three of you fellas give us a message on Facebook Messenger, we will get a bottle of FR3 out to you so you guys can try it and hopefully report back and tell us how much you love it. And remember, new this week, if you are watching this as a rerun, not live, but later tonight, feel free to go ahead and post a comment or ask a question, and we'll pick 2 additional winners, and we'll post them, I think, before next week. And that way, because we got a lot of feedback from Carmen saying a lot of people don't get to catch it live. And
Sure.
so, but they watch it religiously, you know.
That's not everybody watches it at work.
Well, I'm surprised that every work doesn't give people an hour to watch this every week.
I don't
So.
understand why not.
And remember, this is the final week for the Yeti cooler. That's $200 value with $250 cash and a whole bunch of Hot Shots products, including koozies. Brian, check. So go ahead. Remember to post, tag Hot Shots Secret, post picture of your truck or your whatever diesel you got. Tell us why you love it. Hashtag WinHSS, and the next Thursday will be the last one, and then in 2 Thursdays we'll give it away live on air.
Sounds great. And we will see you next week on Thursday for episode number 52.
Have a good weekend.
Yes, have a good weekend, everybody.